What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody is well. Season's greetings to everybody. Oh, I forgot to put the goal up today because the subject matter of today is investment banking. Today, we're going to talk about Turki Alashiek. And is he actually investing in boxing? Really? Is he really putting this money into boxing? Or is there other people that are using Turki Alashiek as a front to put money in boxing? And they are getting their money because they have a private investment firm, of which Terence Crawford allegedly or possibly is a part of. And maybe they're the real financiers of Terence Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez, of this TKO venture, of this Ring magazine purchase, and all these other things that are being done that makes no sense to be coming from somebody from Saudi Arabia, but makes perfect sense if these are local U.S. business people who are attempting to subvert the boxing market and make it the UFC 2.0. Are they just taking seed money from hedge funds and using that hedge fund money to purchase things, to work with public relations firms to promote what they want to get done and to try to stall out things that other people are doing? Is there really just a power play going on in boxing on the American side? And instead of putting a face and a name to it, they try to cover it up by claiming that some mysterious Saudi royal is the one that's pumping the money in. Even though the money people just keep losing money and losing money and losing money and losing money. It's almost like they're losing money so that other people will go out of business so they can pick up the pieces and own the whole thing. I think you guys are trying. Is it possible that it really is just some snot-nosed venture private investors who have access to people's trust funds and they take money from the trust fund and put it in a hedge fund just a little bit to see if they can get some long shot investments to come through? You know what I mean? Long shot investments. How is all of this also connected to the RICOs that are going on related to gambling and all the money that people are losing magically in these gambling games? I mean, it's mighty interesting stuff. Thank you, 2 Cent, for enlightening me. So I want to talk about that today. I really do. Because we've been led to believe that Turki Alashiek is doing all of this, that there's a mastermind behind all of this. It is the great Saudis that are doing this. Maybe the Saudis are just the fronts, and they're doing nothing other than just putting their Riyadh label on it and saying, hey, man, we'll throw some fights in Saudi Arabia if you pay for the fights. If you pay for the fights, we'll put our sticker on it. We're not in the business of boxing. We're a nation. We're in the business of, large deposits of gold. Maybe it's not the sports washing that we think it is. Or maybe they're not really paying for the sports washing. People are saying, we will use your name. We can wash one hand, washes the other. We'll put the money up and break the market down and then wind up running it. But at the same time, if you serve as a front for us, we'll give you a lot of good publicity. We'll call you your excellency. We'll put on fights in Dubai. We'll make you guys look like you're a real world presence. While we privately do all the investing ourselves, and act like nobody can see us because we're some super fucking unseen force. But now we've got a name to this. Now we've got a name to these people that are the investment partners for TKO, that are investment partners for Ari Emanuel. But I heard from Oscar De La Hoya that TKO is 100% funded by the Saudis. Something doesn't make sense here. If Oscar De La Hoya says that TKO is 100% funded by the Saudis and that TKO is not taking any risk, then what is this other investment banking firm, Halawapia? Why are they being said to be the investment fund for TKO? We have two different things. We have Oscar De La Hoya, who believes that Turki Alashiek is the investment fund. But according to what 2 Cent gave me, and according to these people's, their deck, their prospectus, because they have to have a prospectus in order to get these investors to invest this money. They said that they got into sports by putting on Terence Crawford's victory parade. A victory parade for Terence Crawford. Got you into sports. Didn't Terence Crawford also say that he had a hedge fund? And he did say hedge fund. He didn't say venture capitalist. He said he had a hedge fund that has all kind of money in it to invest. And they started in 2023. Gervonta, they fought in 2022, 2023, him and Errol Spence. So this is the same investment fund. This is the same investment fund. But TKO is not taking any financial risk. Only the investment fund, which is a hedge fund from what I can see, is taking any financial risk. I've been long saying that makes no sense that Turki Alashiek would have unlimited funds for boxing, unlimited funds to buy EA Sports. EA Sports seems like like a technology firm bought EA Sports. And now the PIF doesn't have any money for boxing and other sports because they got to spend all their money in what was purchased, which was EA Sports, and EA Sports has real value. EA Sports has real sustainable value. Not one-off fights where you overpay everybody and you lose money. Because if your hedge fund is paying for the fights, but you're losing money on the fights, the hedge fund doesn't get anything back. Let's listen and think about this second. Yeah, I saw that. Let's think about this for a second. If you're a hedge fund, don't you want to make money? Oh, you don't want to make money on any particular venture. You want to make money after you put everybody else out of business. So we're not talking about Saudis here. We're talking about a group of Americans that are trying to shut down the Muhammad Ali Act. You're talking about the people that are the actual financial backers of TKO and not Turki Alashiek. A guy from Saudi Arabia who has a YouTube channel and miraculously turned from a guy who was a social media influencer, really, in Saudi Arabia. He turns from a social media influencer with a YouTube page into the guy that is funding all of the boxing in America and Great Britain. With Saudi Arabian money, with absolutely no foreseeable way for him to turn a profit. No, I think you guys are running a scam here. I think we see you guys running a scam here. You guys pay all this money to tear down Gervonta Davis. And it's my belief that you're using the same hedge fund money to pay these content creators to interfere with PBC fights, PBC fighters, YouTube content creators, YouTube misconstrue YouTube views, making all kind of shit that doesn't even look possible. You guys are getting full-time jobs talking boxing when you don't have anybody watching you. Let's be real. Let's be real. There's no fucking way that you guys are turning any real profit on your YouTube channels. Not like that, not to be doing the shit you're doing, not to be flexing money like you're flexing money. No way. You guys are paid content creators, paid actors. You're basically paid actors being paid out of this same hedge fund. That's your Chuck E. Cheese. That's your Edward Charles Cheese. That's your guy that wants to drop all this money all over the place up out of New York City. I'm telling you, man, the gig is up. The gig is up, bro. The gig is up. All you guys over there in Saudi Arabia, not all you guys parading over there to Saudi Arabia, thinking that the prince is the one that really got you, is really no fucking way, bro. Not when Oscar De La Hoya says that the Saudis are fully funding TKO, but yet there is an investment firm that is responsible for signing and paying all the bills for the upcoming league. The upcoming league is not being backed by the Saudis, according to the research that was given to me. It's some people out of Beverly Hills, California, where Fred lives. Out there in California and LA where Fred lives. That's the investment fund, is over there in Beverly Hills, the investment fund. That was a very nice ruse you guys had going on. I mean, seriously. Hey, man, you guys ran a nice scam, bro. You guys ran a what did Eddie Hearn call it? You said it was a transcontinental takeover. You guys came in here, got some U.S. citizens who I will not say their names, to take money out of hedge funds, and then you slap a foreign dignitary label on it, try to act like what you're really doing is international business, so you put a big name on top of it, like Turki Alashiek, who's really just a social media influencer, but you put the Saudi Arabian label on it to legitimize it. And you think because they stamp it with Riyadh season, and that's all they're doing. I believe this. All they're doing is stamping it, and these other guys are the ones paying the money. All you are is a fucking front, bro. And no disrespect to you, Turkey. No, I don't have no problem with Turkey no more. I'm serious, Turkey. I ain't got no problem with Turki Alashiek. Turki Alashiek just has a job. We told you, anything that looks too good to be true is probably not true, or it's not good. If something looks too good to be true, it's either not true or it's not good, or both. Neither true nor good. The research shows that it is U.S. hedge funds, right? Because you have private investors. Private investors are hedge funds, and or just individuals with large amounts of money that is willing to fund the pay structure and presumably buy all of the national tournaments. This is a simple U.S. business transaction that you're trying to fool people into saying is taking place overseas. That's all you're doing. You're doing a little shell game, a little New York street shell game. Oh, where's the shell? Is it here? Or is it here? Or is it here? Let's see. Where's the shell? Really, it's in my pocket. Let's see where the shell is. Is it really a Saudi investor that doesn't make any sense, that says all of these wild things, and he's clearly an actor? He's clearly there for a stage performance. Why is it so necessary for him to be the vocal person that explains where all the money comes from anytime some fight gets made where there's too much money paid? You have a convenient excuse that you can label in the press. Oh, Turkey has the money. Oh, Turkey has the money. Oh, the money's coming from Turkey. But here's the thing. Saudi Arabia says the money's not coming from Turkey. Saudi Arabia says they're cutting back any investment in things that are not outside of Saudi Arabia. That's what they said. So how is Saudi going to participate with TKO? The answer is they're not going to. So who's going to be the investor? Because Mohammed bin Salman has already rang warning bells that money's not coming up out of there. So who did you find to replace that money with? Huh? Or was the money ever coming from there? And or was the money ever coming from there in the United States? Now, I don't doubt funding of fights outside the United States. But in the United States, Dana White most definitely is trying to find somebody to help him take over the sport of boxing. You know why? Because the UFC is a failing model. The UFC is not, it's not what the UFC used to be. They had some quick stars that they were able to grow by telling everybody that they were the best and competing against boxing, but that kind of went away, bro. That kind of went away. Anyway, man, I just wanted to tell you that I find that very, very interesting, bro. That all of this conversation about the funding of boxing, all of the conversations we're having about YouTube boxing in particular, being nothing but a bunch of bots, nothing about a bunch of people who are trying to make a living for themselves on YouTube, magically turning into these professionals that push the line and push the agenda of Turki Alashiek. Of Turki Alashiek. A turkey in a sheet. I mean, seriously, man. What a marvelous con job you guys have been running for the last couple years. I remember when you tried to bring Daniel Kinahan and that didn't work out for you. Daniel Kinahan didn't work out for you. You tried to bring a thug over. It didn't work for you. Now you try to switch it up and you just going to get the money out of people's accounts like you niggas are bank robbers or something. And then you're going to put a label on it that says, okay, I love it, man. I love it. What a narrative. What a story. It's almost like the Boxing Writers Association of America came up with this wonderful transition from where they had boxing before until where they wanted to go now. And you have a nice transition plan, including how you're going to pay for it. But you got to justify how you're going to pay for it. So you come up with a magic sugar daddy that is basically a racial trope. I mean, if that's not a racial trope, I don't know what racial trope there is about people from that region of the world. But you play into this racial trope that they are just they are so wealthy, they can do whatever. No, you all are stealing money, bro. No, bro. You dudes think this is Ocean 11. You think it's Ocean 11 and you can do a bunch of misdirections and you can steal all the money while everybody's watching a boxing event. This is like a real world Ocean's 11, but it plays out over the series of a couple years. You dudes are robbing a bank. That's all you're doing. You're not even money laundering. You're probably not taking any illegal money. You guys, from what I can see, I don't know. Maybe I'm the truth. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. It's just my theory. But it seems like you're not money laundering. It seems like you're just stealing massive amounts of money from a very, 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 very wealthy people. It almost seems like the way that France neo-colonializes Africa. You guys just colonialized the money of a very rich person, called it a hedge fund, put it in a private investment account, and then proceed to try to pay it to yourself out in cost. You're not trying to take illegal money that somebody's getting from drug deals and all. That's not what you're doing. You can't push this type of, you're just taking the money out of the vault. You're just taking the money out of the vault and paying it to yourself because you guys have passes, because you guys have fiduciary duties. Man, and you guys try to cover everybody's eyes with a racial trope called Turki Alashiek. That's what you guys are doing. And it's done. That's what you're doing. I don't need to talk about RICOs anymore. I don't even need to think about Oregon. It's just plain out and out theft. Embezzlement. That's it. It's just embezzlement. And you're profiteering off of embezzlers. I bet that's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think I'm dead right. I think all the research and all of the things we've seen over the last 5 years, fights being obviously fixed, there being so much money in the street that people are fixing gambling matches, passing money through gambling like it's going crazy. You got people handing out $30,000 on YouTube channels, people betting $30,000 a fight, $50,000 a fight. Normal bozo ass YouTube channel guys are betting $50,000 on a fight. No, it seems like you guys got your hands. You're saying it's Turki Alashiek. And it's just that he just has the money. You know how those Arabs are. Like, think about what they're laying out in front of us. Look at this. They are literally telling us that all these billions of dollars that have come into boxing came from basically an Arab sheik, because his name is Alashiek. From an Arab sheik who doesn't even own the money himself. It's coming from a public fund, but yet they treat it like it's his own personal money with no financial money coming back to him whatsoever, just the pleasure of doing it. Because, you know, that's how rich Arabs are. They don't care about their money, even though that's nothing but a racial trope. But you believe it because it's a racial trope. But in reality, the money is coming, from what I can see, from the same funds Terence Crawford was talking about when he broke off from the Errol Spence fight to take a fight for guys from something that was paid from a hedge fund out of California. But this is the second hedge fund. They had one in Northern California and they got one in Southern California now. But they're still California hedge funds. Come on, y'all. This is obvious shit at this point. And I think you guys know that this is obvious shit. But you think you hit a lick. You got an application called The Zone where you can charge people money. You're putting it on. paying people money, but then sticking it behind a paywall. Then you stick it not only behind one paywall, you stick it behind two paywalls. But you're still willing to pay Shakur Stevenson this type of money, even though Shakur can't sell? You're willing to put, but Shakur will come by my channel to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that he can get some of it. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers come around to make sure you can get some of this money. I get you. You don't see the play, man. You don't see the play. No, I didn't see the play. I got to admit you. I didn't see the play, bro. I got to admit. I didn't see the play. But I do want to know why y'all always got to come by my channel and talk to me. I'm very curious as to why you always have to come by my channel. And why I know every single solitary one of the people involved in this. Wow. What a charade you guys have pulled on the boxing world. Your justification for money pouring into boxing magically from investment firms. But investment firms know that they want a long-term profit. So they try to shut the, I got you, bro. Ponzi scheme, what it is called is embezzlement. No, it's just embezzlement. They can call it a Ponzi scheme, but it's really just embezzlement. It's embezzlement followed by a Ponzi scheme. It's investment, it's embezzlement followed by a Ponzi scheme. Because they are embezzling the money. Because I promise you that this is money that they did not get permission. You know why? Because they say it's Turki Alashiek. Wow, man. Good job, guy. No, fighters are not allowed to get paid out of somebody else's pocketbook. No, they're not. No, fighters are not allowed to get paid out of other people's pocketbooks. No, they're not. Absolutely not. No, they're not. Absolutely not. If you know that that money is coming from somebody, and that money, the person whose money it is, does not know and does not approve of its use, and you're just participating in the embezzlement. Absolutely not. You do not deserve the profits of ill-gotten gains. No, you don't. Everything that they gave got to come back to the people whose money it is. No, you do not deserve that person's money. No, you don't. If there's a guy that's worth $100 billion, if a guy has let's just do some fantasy shit. If a guy has $100 billion in a trust fund and it's just sitting there because it's his money, he can't be part of a hedge fund if it's not his money. Fuck out of here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that put money into hedge funds. That is not their money. No. What I'm saying is the money should never be in the hedge fund to begin with. I'm telling you that they're taking money from somebody's money and they are moving it into a hedge fund. And then they're investing the hedge fund. No, the person that put the money in the hedge fund is embezzling because the money shouldn't be in the hedge fund because the hedge fund was never approved. That's what I'm saying. And I don't care if you put $1 inside of a pot of $10 billion. Just because you put $1 in along with somebody's $10 billion, it doesn't mean that you have the right to benefit off the $10 billion that was stolen from that guy. Absolutely not. And I already told you that you guys needed to pray that the people whose money it really was, that you're spending so freely, find out that you're spending their money so freely when you have no authority to spend their money at all because you think you hit a lick. But what's the point of wasting it? Won't it catch up with them? If you invest it, you have to invest it in something. It's called a paper trail. If they invest the money, it's a hedge fund, right? Hedge funds are highly risky. When you lose, you either make a ton of money or you lose a ton of money in a hedge fund. So people that put their money in hedge funds are saying, okay, I know it's a risky venture. But here's the thing. There are financial advisors and wealth managers. You know what the funny thing I used to get all the time? I used to always get propositions from Chicago wealth managers. I think I negotiated maybe 5 contracts with wealth managers in Chicago. They always wanted to talk to me about managing wealth. The wealth managers are the ones that unauthorized wealth managers are putting money in hedge funds that are being sold to their friends, and the money is being given away like fucking lollipops. So they think they hit a lick. And all you Negroes downstream of it, SEC regulates hedge funds. They can take action if the manager of funds frauds the investors. What happens if the investor got frauded by his family? But what if family members of the real investor make excuses and fraudulently claim that they can invest money for that person? See, I have no doubt that they're going to cover their trail all the way to the family members of the wealthy person whose money it really is. I'm telling you, I know that everybody involved is going to have their everything covered. All of their X, Y's, and Z's are going to be taken care of, all the way to the family member that lied and said that they had agency in order to bind this person to that money that was spent. So if you can get a family member to say, get you put into a hospital, and you can claim that they have some mental impairment, or you can claim that you've been given, you can forge some bogus paperwork and claim that you have authority, forge signatures, all kind of shit, and then they take the money and put the money there. The people that knew it knows it's a fraud, but they have all the paperwork necessary to cover their tracks. I have no doubt that they're going to cover their tracks all the way to the family members of the people that gave them permission to take the money in the first place. But I'm telling you right now that they never got permission. They never got permission for any of it. None of it. because the question was never seriously posed to the people whose money it is. No, they claimed that they had the right to make these decisions because they were agents of that person. Don't worry, I've done my research all the way. I've done my investigation all the way to the names of the people. And guess what? I'm not a snitch. I'm not a snitch. I've gotten close enough to the people where I know who did it, where I don't have to be a snitch. But I'm also going to tell you all that money, that gravy train is over with. That gravy train is over with. There's not 18 months. Watch this shit. Dana White said they had 18 months of commitments before Turkey could pull out and they could go legitimate. That's what it seems like to me. He had 18 more months of commitment. No, you don't. I'm telling you right now, you know why the Ricos are hitting now. You know why the Ricos are hitting now. You guys are playing with people's money, bro. Y'all are blockading and keeping people from having their own money while you Negroes try to spend it all. We got it, dog. All up in boxing, bro. When I got Fanon International Boxing, bro, and I tell you, there's a microcosm and a microcosm and a macrocosm, bro. Hey, yes, I did. Fanon, did you hear Bernard Hopkins speaking at the WBA convention? He said a lot. I highly agree with what he was talking. Absolutely. I agree exactly with what he was saying at that convention. These people are trying to buy boxing. The whole thing. And they're trying to make it a little gambling funnel for themselves so that they can extract all of the value out of the fighter and get it to them. The model is clear. The model is clear. Their goal is clear. They're going to take this money. They're going to kill the competition with this money. This unlimited funds that they have. Isn't that what Claymore Rain called it? Unlimited funds. I only know one person that got unlimited funds. And it ain't the people you talking about. And you know why that person has unlimited funds? Because he owns gold mines. Let me tell you about the friend that I have that has unlimited funds. I'm going to tell you, there's only one person that I know that has unlimited funds. And I don't like to talk about this person. I don't say the name. I reference him every once in a while. There's only one guy that I know that has unlimited funds, and I'm going to tell you why he has unlimited funds. Because his father is a very, 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 very wealthy man whose father left him gold mines. He owns gold mines in Africa. He owns gold mines in Europe. He was in the business of buying raw materials. So in the early 1960s and 1970s, he invested a lot of his money in his father. Invested money in gold mines, cobalt mines, rare earth, all of those minerals that people are fighting over. This man had a lot of cash and he spent a lot of money on gold mines. Everything, things that you could use to back money. So anytime that he needs money or cash, he can just use his gold, right? Because he has gold mines and a lot of them. He has silver mines. He has coal mines, right? So he actually owns raw materials, right? Kind of like the mercantile exchange where they sell all that stuff, goods, all the commodities. He actually owns the commodities right out of the ground. That's what they invested in. So this guy has unlimited funds because governments will buy gold from him, and they will use his gold that they purchased to back their currency. But they can't pay for the gold. They basically he has a lien on the gold in case they don't pay for the use of the gold as backup. Very complicated stuff. However, this guy has unlimited funds. Absolutely. So when I hear people in Chicago talking about unlimited funds, Jamaicans talking about unlimited funds, when I hear, because I know rich people, bro, trust me, they're talking about his money. That's the only guy that has so much money that he can give money to people to invest. This guy has so much. No, not Elon fucking Musk. No, Elon Musk makes his money off the impression that Elon Musk has money. Elon Musk does not have gold mines. He does not have the money this guy has. This guy is royalty, literally. No, this guy is literally royalty. He's royalty. Do you know how, like, in the Reconstruction or the Renaissance of Russia, before there was Russia, before Reconstruction in Europe, that's the money these guys have. They're the only ones with money like that. They're the only ones. Elon Musk gets to manage some of their money. That's it. They'll give Elon Musk a contract. They like Elon Musk. Okay, Elon, we'll give you the Starlink contract. Elon got the Starlink contract. Okay, thank you, Troy Hutch. You know what it is. Anyway, bro, I'm not talking about that because I'm not going to tell you who he is because you're not supposed to know who he is, so you don't try to steal all his fucking money all the goddamn time. It's somebody who you're trying to steal their fucking money. That's who. That's who it is. It's the dude whose money you're trying to steal. That's the one. The one who everybody's trying to get his money. Dude, you think these guys are, man, please, this guy has so much money, you can't measure his money. How can you measure the money of a guy that literally owns the gold that you're buying out of the ground? He doesn't get gold. He gets gold for free. At $4,000 an ounce, he gets gold for free. He owns the materials to process the gold himself. So for nothing out of the ground, he can pull $4,000 out for every ounce of dirt he pulls out and refines himself. And you guys want to steal his money, and that's all you're doing. That's what you're doing. And you're acting like it's some shit he's not going to get. Dog, you can't just take this guy. You guys don't even know that this nigga is way beyond the plug, bro. You niggas are the plug. This nigga is the energy. But you guys want to use and abuse him. I know who he is. Some of y'all know who he is. And you know you're abusing this guy. You know it. You know you're abusing this guy. You know you're stealing from this guy. You know that he gives to you. I'm not saying anything about him. No, he's not black. They don't think he's black. They don't think he's black. He ain't white. Let me put it this way. He may not be black, but he ain't white. It depends on what your definition of black is. I say he's black. Whole lot of people say he's not black. I say he's black. He's black enough for me. But my God, man, y'all guys are taking advantage of this guy, man. Y'all just taking care. You walk up on the guy, you meet the guy, he gives you a what's up, he introduces you to people, he says, that's my guy, he takes care of you, and you niggas turn around and all you see him as is a lick. That's all you see him as, is somebody to take advantage of, somebody to manipulate, somebody to block people from him. Bro, this guy is so fucking secluded. He's so fucking secluded that you niggas can't even talk to him. But y'all put this nigga in a jail by taking his money and doing the shit you're doing with his money. He didn't give you that money to turn around and compete with him. I know that for sure. I know he never gave his money for you to turn around and use his money to try to compete with him. You'll never be able to compete with this guy. You'll never be able to compete with him. Not on that level. If you guys are trying to, and I mean this with all fucking humility, I'll speak for the dude. Because I know what kind of dude he is. You will never compete with this guy on his money. You could have $1 trillion, bro. I know there's no mathematical way you can compete with this guy and his money. Okay? He has so much money that you guys call him the oligarchs. Let's really speak it. He has so much money and so much people around him with money that you literally call him the oligarchs. You think it's oligarchs. No, it's not oligarchs. It's him and him alone. But because he has so much money, because he owns gold mines and he owns the materials in the ground, again, this man can take metal out of the ground, refine it himself, and sell it for $4,000 an ounce. And if he wants, he can take it all off the market and jack the price up to $8,000 an ounce, $10,000 an ounce, $100,000 an ounce. If he wants to remove his minerals from circulation, he can drive through scarcity the price of anything through the roof just because he takes it off the market. Thomas Sewell knows this. Thomas Sewell knows this, which is why Thomas Sewell, bro, I am 100% correct that nobody has what this guy has. No fucking way. You know why? Because this guy, no, they're not 4 different dudes. It's one guy. And get the fuck out of here. You're no longer going to disrespect this guy. You're no longer going to disrespect him. There's one guy and one guy alone. One. It's his. And it's his alone. Not 4, 1. The ones you're talking about are just people that know him. That's it. Like Jesus and the disciples. There was one Jesus, 10 disciples. Just because you're a disciple doesn't mean you're Jesus. Just because you can walk around and tell people what this man thinks does not make you him. No. No way. There is one guy, and you guys are not going to be able to rely on this man anymore. There is one guy. One. And you stand around him. I've been around him. You stand around him, you kiss his ass, and then you take, and then you want to compete with him. I'm not telling you, get the fuck out of my face. If you don't know, you don't know. If you ain't in the know, you ain't in the know. I'm not giving certain information out. You can forget it. Man, I don't give, man, shut the fuck up. My mama stay with me, bitch. Yeah, we know where your mama stay. My mama stays in my household. Nigga, I wish you fucking would. Bitch. Anyway, fuck out of here, man. You too. You too. And hold on one second. Let me ban you from Twitter, bro. Because I know, oh, I'm sorry. I can do it from here. I'm sorry. Let me ban you from Twitter, Bill. You know where I live. You sent a piece of paper to my fucking house. Of course you know where I live, you bums. Of course you know where I live. What do I care? What do I do with this dude? I will. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're probably joking, but I will just mute you. Yeah, I'll just mute you, bitch ass. Anyway, you already know where I live, bitches. What are you talking about? You sent a piece of paper to my house. You know who I am. You know who I am. Anyway, like I said, bro, no, there's one guy. Only one guy, bro. Only one guy. And it's his. It's his. Because it was given to him by his father. Thank you very much. It's his legacy. Too early to be threatening people online. Yeah, people are corny. Anyway, I'm telling you, that's where the money's coming from. That's where the money's coming from. The money is not, don't believe, surprise, surprise, don't believe the internet news. The money is not coming from Saudi Arabia. The money is coming from the United States. If the money is coming, let me watch this shit though. If the money is coming from Saudi Arabia though, if it's coming from Saudi Arabia, it's coming from accounts that are held of his in Saudi Arabia. That's it. Because there's countries that have this man's money locked up. Seriously, this man's money, he does not have full access to his money because he's so wealthy that he's considered an international risk. Because he has because of the fact that he has this much, he literally has countries that embargo his money and his properties. So there's property that he has and that he owns in countries like Venezuela. Like this guy owns a lot of property in Venezuela. But you know what they do to him in Venezuela? They always make sure there's a war in Venezuela. So there's no way for him to get his money in Venezuela. He owned a lot of money in Libya. So in order to prevent him from getting his money in Libya, they start a war in Libya. So pretty much you have a whole security apparatus that will start wars anywhere this guy has money and claim that they're doing it because it's a national security threat. So this guy who lives in the United States has property in Venezuela, but they won't let him have access to it by, number one, embargoing it, and number two, keeping it in a lot of war. So there's no way to access the minerals. That's why everywhere in Africa that this guy owns property, there's always a war. They always set up some bogus ass bullshit war right on top of the guy's money, right on top of his mines or wherever the stuff that he owns things at. And they start all kind of stuff and they put Boko Haram around him. They put ISIS around him. They put all kind of different bullshit around this guy to limit his ability to get access to his money. That's what's going on. And it's very simple, even though it's very complicated to see. They want to prevent the rise of a black messiah. They won't even say that this guy is black. The question is he black? Is he not black? Really, the same thing went on with dude, it's like a mini version of shit that happened with Jesus. They talk about, it depends. Why does Jesus have to be white? Because that means everything that was Jesus's goes to white people. And you're second. So they argue over his race. Man, this shit is crazy for this dude, bro. Man, hell no. Do you think Diego ready for a title fight? Yeah, dog, I'm not talking about that shit, bro. I gotta put you on timeout, bro. No, I'm in the middle of fucking a nigga's day up. Now, I decided I was going to volunteer this live stream. I'm going to do an hour. I know there's probably not that a lot of people there, but I just wanted to do it. The gig is up, bro. Getting into that guy's business, I don't want to get into his business. All I'm going to say is, bro, look, man, you guys got to get your hand out this guy's pocket. I'm telling you, he's a very, 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 very nice guy. He's a very nice guy until he finds out that you're taking advantage of him. At which point in time, bro, trust me, there's nothing you can do with him. There's nothing you can do with him, bro. Nothing. The guy walks around with a military, bro. The guy walks around like it's a fucking military around him. You know what I mean? The guy walks around like it's a fucking military around the guy. So you're never going to touch him. Because the nigga literally has a military around him all the time, bro. He's worth that much, dog. Seriously, he's worth so much that I asked my father how much he thought he was worth. And he said, dog, you can't even measure how much he's worth. He owns everything. Seriously. Let me tell you when I heard about the guy. My dad is a big deal. And I asked my dad about this guy, Mansa Musa. Remember Mansa Musa? The guy that said everybody said was worth more money than anybody in the world. He was worth $400 billion. When I asked my dad, and I said, did you hear about this Mansa Musa guy who's worth $400 billion? And my dad said, no way. But look at my dad said. My dad said you can't measure his worth. That's what he said. He said Mansa Musa was the king of the world. Mansa Musa owned everything. You could not measure Mansa Musa's worth. This guy got shit like Mansa Musa. Let me tell you, the amount of property that this guy owns makes Mansa Musa look like a lemonade stand. Okay, let me put it this way. The richest guy ever, this is what my dad told me. The richest guy ever that they say is Mansa Musa is not as rich as the guy I'm telling you about. Because Mansa Musa was Mansa Musa was worth way more than $400 billion. When they say he was worth $400 billion, they're only talking about the money he spent. Mansa Musa spent $400 billion. But Mansa Musa owned all the gold mines in Mali. He owned the diamonds. He owned all the shit out the ground. Think about it. Mansa Musa is the man that could do what I'm telling you. Mansa Musa could take a rock, which is a diamond, shine up the diamond, and sell it to you for $100,000 because he owns the raw material in the land. But guess what this guy also has? This guy has enough military ability with his private contractors, Blackwater, Black Rock, between Blackwater and the other military contingencies that he owns, you can't get anywhere near him. And he can go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. He's easily the most powerful man in the world, by far. That's when I was talking to Kamal. And I was like, Kamal would be like, Mohammed bin Salman is the most powerful man in the world. And I'd be like, ain't no fucking way Mohammed bin Salman is the most powerful man in the world, bro. There's no way, because this guy has so much more than him. This guy owns materials, minerals in Saudi Arabia. He bought land in Saudi Arabia from the Saudis because they had to sell it to him. I'm telling you, this dude is the shit. Young guy too. Young guy. So dude, this guy, man, let me tell you, dudes that met him talk about the boats this kid has. Do you know how rich the dudes just around him are? The guys around him are super billionaires. The only reason Elon Musk is a billionaire is because this guy had invested it, bro. Man, take it. I'm not going to wear myself. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't give a fuck about all that, bro. I'm not trying to hear this shit. I'm trying to tell you guys to keep your hands out these guys' money. I've been warning you guys for a long time, bro. All money ain't good money. You guys got money from what it looks like to me. You guys are taking money in, bro, the guys are the ones with the money, bro. Money comes after the minerals. Anybody talking about money is not on these guys' level. This guy owns the land, bro. The political truism is that power comes with land. This guy owns the land. Easily the biggest landowner in the world, easily, through all kind of different companies that own the land that he owns. No way. When you start talking about money, no way. Because these guys actually own the land and the material that rests in it. And they were the ones that named kings. Let's also do a little more history. Who named the kings? Who named them? Who are the people that decided that they were going to change the names of countries? These people are the ones who left, that own these lands. Man, you guys got to understand how power, you guys talk about real estate, things sitting on top of the land. No, real estate is nothing compared to actually owning the land. And he owns the land lease free. Lease, not mineral rights. No, not rights to the, no, listen. This guy owns the land, not the rights to the minerals in the land. No, he actually owns the land itself. When he's the one that gives the mineral rights out. You buy the mineral rights from him. It's his land. So if you want minerals, you have to get the minerals from him because he owns the land. That's minerals and all. It's everything. So you want to buy rights to it. That's all they own. They own temporary rights to extract minerals from his land. Anything in the land, below the land or above the land, bro. They bought it up. And guess when they bought it up? They bought it up during the crash of, you remember when, what was it? During the Great Depression. They bought all that shit up during the Great Depression because when Western society dropped out, they had no money. These people were stacked with land and money, and they bought everything up. And after that, he got enough money. The father got enough money to buy and continue it. And then after that, they have the money they have now. That's how wealth works, bro. I got to ask you a question. Red Slinger, bro. If I give you a lecture that explains to you how wealth transferred in the Great Depression, because all of the venture capitalists all went broke. Just like the banks collapsed. Every time the bank collapses, every time your stock market collapses, you have to go to these people to bail you out. And they bail you out, but they buy everything up when they bail you out. There was the bailout of 2016. There's the bailout after the crash of the Mercantile Exchange in 1982 and 1988. I don't know what you think this is. I'm not stupid. You guys grow bubbles that bust. Let's be real. You're trying to blow, you're doing a boxing bubble right now. Yes, that's what you're doing. You're inflating the price of boxing by taking money from this guy, funneling it through all kind of shit, getting it into boxing, inflating the prices, right? So you can do what? Everybody goes in debt. Everybody's riding high, taking chances on this pyramid scheme for you to do what? Pop. You pop the bubble. And then what happens? Everything crashes. Except for the people that knew that they were going to be able to buy everything up. Right? And then they're going to stick everything in that league. It's the same thing they did when they blow up the financial markets. They inflate the price of housing. Everybody get a loan. Everybody get a loan. Prices of houses go up, 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 up. And then the people that make money are the one that wagers on when the bubble pops. So you're basically building another bubble with the same guy's money, but you're doing it in boxing. That's what you're doing. You're taking this guy's money because he showed an interest in boxing, and you're fucking growing a bubble to blow up because you're using his money to do it. And you're getting all kind of kickbacks, washbacks, and it's like it's raining money. So much so you guys are fucking putting out $1,500 a day in super chats. Bro, we're going to work our way back from $1,500 a day super chats to you dudes fucking embezzling God knows how much money. And to do what? All to affect geopolitical interests. That's your cover with the government. Geopolitical issues. That's why you got Mohammed bin Salam's name drawn in it. So you can fake like there's some international issue here that allows you to play with this guy's money in Saudi Arabia because you can't get any more access to it in the United States. And you think you're Skull and Bones. You think you're all this big time Illuminati fucking Princeton superstars. And your asses are in trouble like a motherfucker, man. Because if I know it, you know it's over. Economy of pyramid schemes, bro. All off the fact that this guy owns all this money. And again, I had an argument with my brother one time. I told my brother the power was not in information systems. Power was in the land. That's how I beat my brother. And I love my brother with all my heart. But that's how I won. Because power is in the land. It's not in your information system. Power is in people and in the land. Buy land and all of it. Don't lease it, because if you lease it, you don't own it. The bank owns it. Buy it. Straight out. And now it is what it is. If you own the land, you can throw everybody out of the United States because the U.S. Constitution is a lease. Yes, it is. Let me tell you something that these people wanted me killed about. I told this guy this. This is why I was put on a terrorist watch list. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is why they put me on a terrorist watch list. Been on one for a long time, bro. Because I said that the U.S. Constitution is a lease. It's a lease. Because everything in law is a contract. So who is the contract with? The contract is with the people, and the contract is with the land. You have the owner of the land, and you have the people. The government is nothing but a go-between between the owner of the land and the people that live on the estate. And the government's job is to administer for the mutual benefit of the owner and the people. The owner represents the land. The people are the people. The government can represent the people. But guess what that is? It just like when you buy a piece of property, that is a set of rules that are set up by a housing authority. So basically, they set up an authority over the people and try to separate the people from the land. But if the owner finds that you are not following the lease, like you don't make the payments, like say, for example, You do not actually do the services that you are being required to do under the lease as the owner, as the management company. You have responsibilities as a management company to take care of the infrastructure, to take care of the people, to make sure that foreign countries are not coming and stealing from the country, that things are not being taken off of the property of and moving on to somebody else's property. You can't be a management property owner and take property from one property and shift it over to another one. You can't do that. Not unless the owner says so or the tenants say so. But if the tenants don't pay the bill to the owner, the tenants can get put out and the management company can get fired. And what I'm telling you is we told certain people to buy the land. And once they bought the land, they became the owner. So the federal government is duty bound to the owner to administer the land in a way that fits with the vision of the owner. That's a fact, which makes your Constitution just a lease. And if you violate that lease, if the government does not do its side, which is to protect and serve the people, then it is in violation of its duty, and that contract is null and void. Which means what? There is no government. And they put me on a watch list for that. Because what I said is the truth. There's a bunch of owners of estates that got together and wrote something called the Constitution. And they all signed it. They did what they did. But that's only because they own the land that they were able to do that. But they didn't own the land. They leased the land. Yeah, nobody's watching me but the 436 people in the chat. Fuck out of here, nigga. Anyway, that's what it is. So that's why they don't want Native Americans, blacks, to be Native Americans, because we own the land. I don't understand why you guys do this shit, bro. Nobody's going to believe you guys, okay? Let me tell you, you guys, I know that your PR budgets. Let me talk to you PR guys for a second. Let me talk to you PR guys for a second, okay? Let me talk to you PR guys for a second. I am not in public relations. I am not a journalist. I have a channel which was intended to talk about boxing. Okay? I don't care if you think I'm crazy, because you're paid to say you think I'm crazy. That's what you always do when I say this, is you guys claim that I'm crazy. And then you go get some people to try to sign off with you that I am. Just like when you guys have done it like 5 or 6 different times. I'm not crazy you telling you that the Constitution is in effect a lease. And it is a contract between people that are born in the land and people that own the land. But once certain corporations bought up all the land from those people that owned the land previously, they became the owner class in the United States. The problem, though, is that it's only one person that is the owner of the land, not the shell companies and all the different people that work for him. I told you guys for a very long time that you guys are peons. You're peons. I could easily brag that none of you, including Mohammed bin Salman, will ever lay a finger on me, because I'm the one that taught the guy with all the resources what to do with his resources. I'm the one that told the guy to do it. I'm a genius. I'm not crazy. I'm a once in a lifetime genius is what I am. I'm a once in a generation genius is what I am. And I figured it out. Just like I figured out what you guys are pulling. And I figured out how to get that guy all that land. And I figured out how to get that guy all his protection. And I figured out how to get that guy you all. Because I just caught you all for that guy. Oh, don't worry. I know him. I work for him. I work for him. Just so you know, I said I was retired because I didn't want to work. But I went back to work for him. I just went back to work, brother. You all just fucked with me. And I just fucking went back to work, bro. Trust me, he listens to me all the time. Listens to me all the time, bro. All the time, bro. Always with me. My best friend. The person that I can trust the most in this world. Which is why I told him that I liked Putin. So he's cool with Putin. I told him I like Ibrahim Torah. He's good with Ibrahim Torah. I told him I liked Elon Musk. He's good with Elon Musk. I told him that I like Jeff Bezos. He's good with Jeff Bezos. I told him I like Barack Obama. He's good with Barack Obama. I said that he was good with the Pope. He liked the Pope. Got another Pope liked. Another guy I liked, he got a Pope name. He got another guy named Pope. Yep. Absolutely. If he wants to say, I want this guy to run my country, it's over with. You know why? Because he owns the land. And there's no fucking reason. There's no fucking reason for the U.S. Senate or the U.S. Congress to even have a vote. Because the Senate is supposed to be representing him, the owner class. Yeah, they are. Seriously. It's that serious with this guy. Because he has enough military force to enforce it. You're not fucking with this dude. This guy, the reason he's alive is because of me. The reason I got him into getting into gangs. I told him to back gangs. Yeah, I did. You know how I told him? You know what I told him to keep himself on the street? I said, look, man, you're never going to be able to walk the streets freely if you don't just give money to gangs. I told him he needs to give his money directly to niggas in the street. Directly with no middlemen. No middlemen. And he gave money into the street with no middlemen. And got all kind of people into situations where they don't have to sell drugs anymore. This guy provided so much money in the streets that people lie and say they were the ones that moved the money around. Seriously. He put so much money into the streets on my advice that you got celebrities sitting there with stacks and stacks and stacks of money. That's really just his money that he put in the streets, straight in the streets. No go-betweens. I told him to walk the streets. I said, man, you got to be able to walk the streets, bro. You're not free. He puts his money directly in stores. Directly. If he wants to buy a business, he will buy you his business himself. I told him to get rid of his middlemen. He got rid of all kind of middlemen. But you think you can just do anything to him, too. Now you talking, I follow up on Abraham Torah. Look, I'm just telling you, bro. Abraham Torah? Yeah, I told him to support Abraham Torah. I did. I told him to support Putin. I did. You know why? Because I think the Russians I get to think Russians. There's a lot of Russians in Chicago. I was like, bro, you're going to get dog, support him, bro. Yep. And they support each other. The BRICS thing. Brexit, Brexit, all that shit is because that dude considered his own currency, bro. Why you think they got into Libya like that, bro? They got into Libya and tried to fucking do that dumb shit because the guy was going to fucking make his own currency. Dude, the guy can make his own currency. But they think but he said, now let me tell you what he said about that. His take on the currency was he didn't want to overstep his bounds. Seriously, bro. The dude can literally make money with his man, dog, for real. He's a fucking walking man for real. Is what it is. And that's whose money they're playing with, bro. That's all it is. That's whose money you're playing with, bro. And that's why you got Saudi Arabia wanting some of the money. That's why you want Israel want some of the money. Because they want very badly to be friends with this guy. But guess what? I'm not friends with Bibi Netanyahu because he fucked with me. I'm not friends with Mohammed bin Salman because Mohammed bin Salman fucked with me. And I'm telling you, dude, these guys, and I told him, I was like, man, nah. I was like, nah. He trusts me. And I said, nah. So he said, nah. And they got mad. And they blamed me. But that's not my fault, bro. If you show bad character in my face, I'm not going to advise him. I'm not going to advise him to do something for you. If you did something to me that showed that you didn't have solid character. Yeah, Brex, thank you. Yeah, I said support Brex. You know why I told him? Because I said they're trying to make a move on Africa. United States is going to make a move on Africa because that's where the next industrial revolution is coming from. It's going to be in Africa, where the land he already owns. So I was like, bro, don't fuck with them, bro, because all they're going to do is fuck up your money. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to fuck up your money. I'm not going to tell you who the guy is. I'm just telling you it's somebody that somebody that I work for. Let's put it that way. He's a guy that I advise. I was a management consulting and a lawyer. I was a lawyer, was a management consultant. I'm a political science major, and I provided this guy with advice on how to handle his affairs. And I am very critical to the decisions that he makes. I tried to retire. I wanted to be out of it. But no, these guys want to act like because we watch boxing together, that means, oh, okay, he's in the business of setting up deals. So they go around and they say they know me. And they get deals done because they know me. But I get the money because of him, right? That's funny. The guy he's talking about has 2 horns on the top of his head. You got that shit right. Hey, bro, VA Money Group. You got that shit right. The guy I'm talking about got 2 horns on his head and a swastika. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, he does. Got 2 horns on his head. You absolutely right. He's right. I sold my soul to the devil a long time ago, bro. You got that shit right. First shit a nigga said was true. You better believe he got 2 horns. Sold my soul to him as a young child, dog. Young child. I said, look, man, if you can get these white people off my back, devil, I will work for you. I will write your contracts. I will deliver the world to you. If you get these goddamn thieves off my ass. And he said, I got you. I peeped it when he was talking money. You're funny, bro. It is what it is. I said it, dog. You call this nigga Vlad the Impaler. There you go. His name is Vlad the Impaler. That's his name. The guy I'm talking about, his name is Vladimir. He goes by Vlad the Impaler, bro. He said I was going to settle for guitar lessons. What's that about? I peeped it. I'm just telling you, the guy you talking about is the devil. Hey, bro. Dog, they treat him like he's the devil. That's for damn sure, bro. Woo, they treat that dog. Hey, dog. They treat that man like he's the devil, dog. When he walked down the street, bro, they cleared the block out, bro, for real. Like the whole fucking place, nigga. Everybody in the place when he's there, all of its security, everything is paid for. They look how they do this dude's security. If this guy is going to a city, any route that this dude may go on when he walks the city, security has already cleared the blocks, already talked to all of the merchants, already had everybody in position, all talked to every known criminal. And you know what I'm saying? What's up, the real mulatto? They talk to every known criminal, every public officer, and say, look, bro, we have a VIP that is going to be in your city whose security is absolute top level. And when he goes in there, bro, trust me, you'll see planes flying over this dude's head. He got helicopters all over the fucking place. He got special ops all around. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy when he's around, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy when this guy's around, bro. It's like you think you can walk up, but you really can't walk up on him. Anyway, so that's why, but he's that seriously, bro. But he got that money because his family, during the Great Depression, basically bought up all the property that the barons, the robber barons, when they lost all their money because it was all debt and leveraged, they came in and repossessed everything. And that's how they got. And by the way, some other stories, guess what? Do you know how they said that there was how during the Great Depression that the stockbrokers got so upset that they jumped out of windows? That's not necessarily true. When these guys stole all of the predecessors' money, when they stole the predecessors' money, they threw them out the windows. They did not jump out the windows. They threw them out the windows because they knew that those guys had taken it. They took a gamble that they could waste all that money. And then they knew that these guys were going to come back and they were going to put the money back in. They always rely. Let me tell you what they rely on every time. They rely on the fact that these people are going to always bail you out. And those guys they put you in a situation politically and economically where you're supposed to always bail out the management company. The fact of the matter is, democracy is only a process that is laid out within your lease. Okay? Your democracy is how you guys administer your lease. That's fine. If you want to have a group, a set of rules where you guys can all agree how you behave with each other on this guy's land, that's fine. But I advised them, if they don't pay the money, you have the right to eject them. You can't eject the people. I told them, I was like, no, as a matter of contract, you cannot eject the people. Not the people. Because the people are the land. People are attached to the land. Listen to this. And then I explained to him, you own the land, right? Yes, I own the land. So do you own the water in the land? He said, yes, I own the water. I said, do you own the trees and the food? He said, yes, I own the trees and I own the food. And I said, well, don't you own the food when it goes into the people? Listen to what I told him. I told him that their whole body is formed from the land. All of the water that they have in their body comes from the land. Everything in their body comes from the land. The clothes comes from the land. It all comes from the land. So that means you have a duty to them as you have a duty to the land. You cannot separate their body from the land Because you are the owner of the land, you have duties to take care of the land. You have duties to take care of the people. Since you have a duty to take care of the people and they are being mismanaged, you have a duty to correct the mismanagement of your estate. That is your job. That is why you have been given great power. That's why you've been given great authority. You are the owner of the land, which makes you, in a way, the owner or the person responsible for the bodies of the people on the land. That's why in times of feudalism, people were tied to the land. When you bought the land, you bought the people. Why? Because the people that bought the land had a duty to care for the people. If you butcher people on the land that are in that land, that is a violation of the lease. I said slavery itself was a violation of the lease, in the United States of America should have shut down right there. Because you're taking advantage of the land. The people are the land. Seriously. And I also told him this, and this is why people didn't like me. And listen, this is very savage stuff. But this is why they are kings. This is why the king owns the land. They're saying no kings because they're talking about this guy, not Donald Trump. They're talking about this guy when they say no kings. No, if you as the government are harming the people, which is the land, it is the responsibility of the owner to remove that system of government right off the bat. And guess what else? Because they're capitalists and because they believe that everything is property to be owned, then if you own the water, and you drink my water, guess what I can do? I can repossess my water. Think about what that would mean. And that's why slave owners were able to kill as a matter of contract. Why they said we were chattel. Because they can do whatever they want with the chattel, right? But if you own the land and the water's in your body, that means you own the water and you can remove that water from that man's body because you have the right to repossess it. You didn't pay for the water. I can take the water out of your body. What happens when I forcibly remove water from your body? You're going to be buried in the ground. I'm telling you, that's how government really works. And once this man bought the land, he bought the water, everything above, everything below. He also owns the water in your body, which means if he wants that water back from you, he can take it back from you. Liberal states don't matter. I'm telling you, liberal stuff does not even matter. Liberal, conservative, it's his. I'm telling you, liberal, conservative doesn't matter because you're trying to be liberal with something that somebody else owns. You're trying to be conservative with something that somebody else owns. You can't conserve this man's resources. They're his resources. You can't be liberal with his resources. They're his resources. Whenever you claim that you have the right to decide, what are you doing? You are claiming that you have the right to, I'm telling you, that's why they even say the word fuck. You cannot fornication under the decree of the king. That's what the word fuck means. Literally, you had to have permission to procreate. Why? Because of the concept of ownership. Ownership of the water, ownership of the land. Once you eat the land, you become part of the land. You were grown from the seed of the land. You are attached to the land. That's what the basis truth is. And there's a battle going on at a very large level, but the battle is over. Trust me. The battle is over. And you guys are downstream from this. You say that the United States is for purchase. No, it's not. You guys just haven't paid your bills. And it's being repossessed. Let's be clear. Nobody is buying the United States. No, these people are just repossessing the United States. Because number one, you haven't paid any bills to the people that lived here. You instilled slavery and kept them in servitude and then put a miseducation on top of them and tried to convince them they were from another country instead of giving them the benefits of the land. You want to take all the land and all the money and the benefit of the land and you want to move it to another estate. No, you're renting this land from the owner. You are stripping the walls down. You are taking the wood out. You are acting like you can't get thrown out. You're moving all the money out of the country and trying to leave them with nothing. And guess what I told them? I told them let them do it because you own the land. And it's the last time I said, and I told them, buy the land. They were like, buy IT, buy Apple. No, I said, buy the land. I told them, buy the land. Every bit of land you can get, buy the land. And then give them limited rights to minerals. Limited rights to minerals. And if they don't pay, or they use those minerals to oppress other people, bro, we're going to eject you from your land. Who do you think Alexander the Great is? Who do you think Alexander the Great is? That's how emperors take over. And this man doesn't even want to be one. I told him, I was like, bro, you can be the emperor. He's like, man, why would I ever want to do that? All he was born rich, had some incredible investment advice. Instead of investing in houses, which go bust, instead of investing in military, which has to go on the land, early in his career, I said, buy land, buy land, buy land, buy land, buy land. Power is in the land. You want power. You need the land. And that's why you guys are throwing around money like it's $1,500 a day through YouTube channels. Because you guys got the plug, right? Dictatorship is crazy work. Yeah, he don't want to do it. You know why dictatorship doesn't work? Dictatorship doesn't work because the only reason that he owns this stuff is because of a concept called capitalism. The system doesn't work. But for him, he had to run down to the finish line on this. He had to. Otherwise, he would not have lived past 30. If he did not run for the finish line, he would have been dead at 36, 39. I told him, don't pull it out, don't show it, don't pull it out. Money, security, that's all we did. That's all we did. We needed guns. We needed land. That's it. That's what he needed to live. Not for him to take over, not for him to be something that people think he wants to be. No, he needed land for power and guns for power so that he can keep his money because he didn't have the ability to hold his money. I was like, bro, fuck it. They're fucking with your money. Don't worry about the money. Get the land and it's all gone. And that's why he can snatch all the gold off the market. Bro, I told this dude to snatch all the gold off the market. He bought so much gold. Watch this shit and you can go check it. This guy bought so much gold that Alex Jones said this guy had to be his own country. He said he's buying gold at such a rate that he has got to be his own country. Because I advised him to buy gold and take all the gold off the market. Because if you take all the gold off the market, the price is going to go up. And basically, that's what you did. And that's what we would do. We would just go buy up shit. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. Man, this dude is so fucking rich. But he needed security. So he had to deal with the Yakuza. He's got to deal with the Klan. He's got to deal with the people he got to deal with. He's got to deal with the church. He has to deal with the Pope. The president can't do shit without him, trust. Can't do nothing without him. Trust me. Man, let me tell you something, bro. Donald Trump played with that boy for 2 seconds and his earlobe popped. Yeah. Charlie Kirk talked too crazy. Charlie Kirk talked too fucking crazy. Ron Brown talked too crazy. Let me tell you some people that talk too crazy. Seriously, because the dude is kind of not right. Ron Brown talked crazy. When I was in law school, Ron Brown talked crazy. Talk crazy about this kid. Young man at the time, too. Young man at the time, too. Talk shit about this young man. Plane crash. Nigga shit blasted upside of a mountain. Boop. Dude put him in the side of a mountain, bro. That's my homie, bro. Me and this nigga's like this, bro. Like I die, he dies. It's like that. That's my brother, bro. And I'm not talking about my brother, but I'm saying this guy, that's my guy. And I'll die for my guy. You better believe it, bro. But my guy ain't gonna let you come near me. You know what I mean? When you see me, just understand, bro. That's why I can be so free-willing with it. I heard this, yeah, hey, bro, fuck no. This nigga got him. Bro, let me tell you something, man. If you sit there and insult black people too many fucking times in the face of the deep state, bro, dog, a black man can have a white person shoot you. Okay, it's very, very old, okay? You talk crazy too, but you don't see that. What is that? No, I talk crazy. I do talk crazy. I see it. I see that I talk crazy. I talk crazy as fuck to you niggas because you can't do shit to me. Bro, I will talk shit to any of you niggas. You can't do shit to me. What do you want me to say, bro? I'm running with dude. It's the bad guy, dog. When this nigga said the nigga with the horns, yeah, the nigga with the horns, bro. If as close as you can get to a nigga with horns, this is the nigga that was born with horns, okay? If you ever wanted to see somebody who would have been profiled is the Antichrist, that nigga is the Antichrist for sure, okay? Trust me, because you don't never seen anybody that has got that much security, bro. Never, bro. What up, man? Jesus Bustamante, what up? Nah, it ain't the Israel. Man, they put a lot of shit on Israel's. Hey, like you told us a long time ago, bro, you're the man who would kill the deer and bring it back for everybody else to eat. Exactly, bro. I'm the man that kills the fucking buffaloes and grabs and brings it for everybody else. I ain't dog. Fucking Lucifer like a motherfucker, bro. Dog, this nigga is as close to Lucifer as you can get, bro. Hey, man, if there's Jesus Christ, bro, where Jesus is white and he's angelic and nice, this nigga is not that, bro. Hell nah, dog. Hell nah, bro. This nigga crazy, dog. I'm just telling you. He said, hell yeah, I remember you said it. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, dog. Dog, we name presidents, bro. This nigga names presidents, bro. This dude names popes, bro. Like, ain't no mystery in the Pope. And guess who you guys have been stealing money from? Hey, and guess who has been paying? Guess who wants their money back from Chuck E. Cheese? Hey, bro. Hey, dog. This nigga Chuck E. Cheese is impersonating this nigga, bro. Bro, look. You have to understand. All these guys that are dropping this money, are all impersonating him. I'm telling you. There's these big deals that go down, bro, where this nigga will be the one that, dude, it's his money. It's just that simple, bro. It's his fucking money. Okay? You niggas are paying with this nigga's money. You niggas are calling this nigga a lick, bro. Do you know you called this man a lick? A lick, nigga. You are some pissant nigga you're a little pissant nigga from nowhere. And you called this man a lick. You out here on Twitter threatening him? Bro, this nigga's getting threats from boo-boo the fucking fools, bro. Man, this dude is getting threats from dudes that are straight up boo-boo the fucking fool. Threatening this guy's life, bro. Threatening this guy's life, dog. When they were threatening my life, I was like, man, I can't believe, bro. Plus, that man, my God, they would threaten me. That man, I would have to get some, man, these niggas used to act like these dudes could do something. So what they would do is they seclude them, right? This is what they do. How they used to get over on this nigga. They would seclude him, right? They would act like something's going wrong with him. Then they would seclude him. During the time that he's secluded, they would go around and try to fix up and clean up all the work. And so that nobody could know that the person you just threatened is the guy that is absolutely the last person on this earth that you should ever, ever, ever threaten. Because if you threaten him, it connected him all the way to that's why I told him to put money in gangs. But once I told him to put money in gangs, these other niggas took his money, and put him in gangs, and they tried to fight each other. I'm telling you, bro, these niggas is out here talking. And Turkey, that's why I talk to you. Turkey, listen to me, boy. Turkey, listen to me, sucker. Hey, Mohammed bin Salam, listen to me, bro. Mohammed bin Salam, who is listening. Listen to me now. We're done with these jokes, right? We can be done with these jokes, right? I mean, for real. Can we be done with these jokes now? I put the pieces of the puzzle together. I figured out what the game was. Your little IQ score, your little IQ test is over with. What are you going to do now? Are you going to pretend that you have another test to give me? Because you're not quite sure if I figured it out yet? You got any more fake wills? You got any more fake wills to write up? Saying that people left you money and left you things that did not get left to you? Do you have any more fake lawyers to call me? Are you done? I'm just wondering, bro, are you done yet? Or do you cutie pies have anything else for me, huh? Do you have any more? I'm serious. You guys treat my life like it's a fucking IQ test. Like you are going to communicate with me through all kind of anagrams, all kind of other horse shit. And if I figure it out, then I win the prize. You have me in a mousetrap. The world's greatest mousetrap. I'm going to tell you right now what the fuck is going to happen. You're going to get your fucking hands out of my money. And it's going to be that fucking simple. And you're going to get out of my fucking money, or some very heinous things are going to continue to take place in this world. Because I am not here to serve you people. I'm not. I'm not your servant. I'm not your shepherd. I'm not your martyr. I'm not any of that. You all are going to get your goddamn hands out my fucking money. And I mean it. I can be a very gracious person when I want to be but not when you steal. Just because I have more than I'll ever need doesn't mean it's not mine. And it also doesn't mean that you have the right to decide where it goes, who it goes to, or what the conditions are of it passing from one person to the next. I have had a straightforward conversations with you people. You hear me. I am not deluded. I am not confused. Despite your grand attempts to make me be confused and for me to approve things when I don't even know that I'm being asked a question. Don't play with them. I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to put you in jail is what I'm going to do. I already told you I am going to put you in jail for what you're doing. Jail. I didn't threaten anybody with anything other than that. You put your fucking hands on my money. If you have put your hands on my money, misdirected it for purposes that you know I don't want, just because I'm embargoed from it, and you're my family member, I don't care. I don't care. You're going to jail for embezzlement. Simply put, just because I have the power that I have doesn't mean you have the right to limit it. I have the power that I have because I put the work in and because God has blessed me. You are putting your hand in my pie. It took me a while to put the pieces together as to how you're doing it. Stay out my money. Floyd Mayweather Jr. How's Opio Latham doing? I got about 8 more minutes. Opio Latham. How's Floyd Mayweather Jr. doing? How you guys doing, bro? You guys sure wanted to cut a deal with me real bad back in the early 2000s, bro. Yeah, you did. You, Floyd Mayweather, your boy said that I was through. That's what you said, Floyd, that I was through. And you swore allegiance to Israel because you said that you would help them during a time of need, and you will always be their voice, and they will be there for you. Are they, Floyd? How are they with you, Floyd? Floyd, how are they with you, Floyd? I'm very interested now. I'm interested to know what services Israel provided for you that allowed you to walk around with that much fucking money. Floyd. See, my guy, it's his money. All that money from Waddell Reed, that's my guy's money. All that money from Waddell Reed, that's my guy's money. Your Lynn Blavatnik money, that's my guy's money. That's my guy's money. Your PIF money that ain't even real, that's my guy's money. That's my guy's money. Terence Crawford, where you getting all this? Hey, where's the $200 million paychecks coming from? Hey, Floyd, why did you, hey, Terence, before the Errol Spence Jr. fight, Terence, you disrespected me to my face before you got those paydays. Terence, why did you have to disrespect me before you got your payday? with Errol? Why did you have to disrespect me, man? Ari Emanuel. What you doing for Floyd, Ari? Ari. I'm sending somebody to ask you this, Ari. What the fuck are you doing with Floyd, Ari? What are you doing with Floyd, Ari? What are you doing with my money, Ari? I won the argument with Bobby, Ari. Bobby said to invest money in information systems. I invested in land. What's he doing with that money that he asked me for? Because Opio Latham asked me to be part of the money team. That's what you called it, Floyd. You called it the money team. And you have Chicago rappers and a clown named Opio Latham, who is a flunky for me, on your team. He's a flunky who had enough nerve to tell me that I was through. A peon-ass flunky got you enough money to get cocky enough to tell me that I'm through. Because you think I'm going to forgive these niggas forever. I'm not. Flunky-ass nigga told me I was through. Why did he think that, Floyd? Bill, why you false flagging? Bill Haney? Oh, is this called the shit hitting the fan for the niggas in the know? Hey, for niggas in the know, this is called the shit hitting the fan. That's what this day is called. The shit hitting the fan. You niggas pulled a lick out of Muhammad Ali's trust fund. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. In your little bid to replace Muhammad Ali as the king of the world, you got your hands on some of Muhammad Ali's money. Yeah, you did. Or at least you thought you did. Because you really stuck your hand in the devil's money. That's whose money you stuck your hand in, y'all. You don't have your money in you're not sticking your hands in Ali's money. I know that's what you fucking clowns think you're doing. No, you're not. You stuck your hands in the devil's money. And that's why Al Heyman told you niggas, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. So that's the scheme, huh? Have we gotten everything together now? Have you guys now firstly know that I know what's going on now? Are you guys going to continue to talk to me every day under your bot accounts and try to confuse me? Hey, Ari Emanuel, are your PR agents going to continue to come by my live stream? Are they going to continue misinformation campaigns on me, Ari? Are you done with this, Ari? Are you done, Ari? Telling people not to talk to me, Ari? Trying to block me off? You fucking peon. Thank you, 2 Cent. So anyway, let's do this live stream and synopsis again before I come back tomorrow. Said those old folks always said there will be rejoicing in the end. So you guys have all known that you were stealing my money. And you thought that there's so many levels and so many different places that you could steal it from that you could never be caught. And you've been caught. Now the protectors of you are all in a lot of fucking trouble. At a lot of different levels, bro. But anyway, I love it though. At least I don't have to worry about Turki Alashiek anymore. At least I don't have to worry about Showbiz the adult and thinking how you're just going to boost this guy up. Move all kind of views, all kind of attention over there so that you can control the narrative. You're going to surround me with a bunch of traitors, tricks, doing all kind of stupid criminal shit. Do I have something more productive to do? No. No more productive than stealing my money, bro. There's no more. Hey, look, this guy, the guy that I work for, absolutely not. There is nothing more productive in the world than stealing from him. Because this guy has enough money where $1 billion can go missing. Seriously, man. This guy has so much money that if you take a picture with him and people convinced that you're working with him, you can buy gold at below the value of what it costs to take it out the ground. Literally. There are people that can go get gold. They will take the gold out of the ground for you, polish the gold up for you, give it to you as a finished product. As a finished product. As a finished product. So, of course, stealing from him is obviously the number one thing that the big six accounting firms are doing. I mean, apparently, the big six accounting firms like Deloitte and Touche, ain't got nothing better to do than to try to figure out how to screw up this money. Because you don't want a black man to be that powerful, bro. You just don't want it to be a black man, bro. I know. I know what it is, dog. When that man came up, bro, he's like Muhammad Ali in a way, bro. Seriously, man, this guy's like Muhammad Ali in a way, bro. Just super gifted. In every way that you could be gifted, this guy was gifted. Gifted with great wealth. Gifted that he's a good-looking dude. He's a nice guy. Just like Ali, gifted with great looks, gifted with athleticism, gifted with all the things necessary for him to be successful. This guy was gifted all the things, man. There's no bigger trust fund baby that exists on the planet than this guy. But because he's a trust fund baby, everybody wants to treat him like he's a baby forever. And they want to act and they want to continue to hover around him, doing things for him that he doesn't want you to do for him, hiring people that he doesn't want you to hire, getting involved in a bunch of business deals that he doesn't want you to get involved with. You gaslight him. You threaten people's life if they get too close to him, even though you know full well you can't do nothing. You take his own money and compete against him in his own ventures. So let's be really clear what you did in boxing. He invested money in the PBC. You took more of his money and invested in Turki Alashiek. So now he, who is the backer of Al Heyman, is competing against himself, who is the backer of Turki Alashiek. And they're both competing with each other over his money. So that the people that are trying to make him money get put out of business by the people that want him to lose money. Let's put it in context. Since we know that the same money that comes from the PBC and founded the PBC was the same money source that is providing all the crap in boxing now. The only difference was you guys found a plug. You found out who the PBC's plug was, and you went to the same plug, and you found the same plug, and the same plug gave you a deal. And that's where we are. This guy is competing against himself. He's competing against himself, causing himself frustration. Because some unauthorized people are taking his money, sliding it into investment banking firms, pushing it through all kind of different things, and supporting anybody that does not rock with him. You take his own money to prop up people to compete against him. And all you are is a bunch of middle managers, Ari. Ari, you're a middle manager, dog. You're a fucking little manager, dog. You're a middle fucking manager playing middle manager games. I told you niggas, I'm not a journalist. You guys are busted. This shit never made any sense. That no matter what the PBC does, their competitors get more money to compete against them. Unless somebody is embezzling money from my guy. No, they're not paying top money. My guy is paying top money. No, my guy is paying the money. They're not paying the money. As Dana White, as they said, they are taking no financial risk. That's what Oscar De La Hoya said. Oscar De La Hoya said TKO is taking no financial risk. It's a hedge fund that is taking all the financial risk. So no, my guy is the only one that's taking any risk. But you don't think he's taking any risk because it's not any money to him. It's just the sport he loves, though. You see what I'm saying? All you're trying to do is irritate this guy. You're trying to compete against him, and you're trying to score brownie points with him with his enemies by trying to beat him in something he invested in. He invested money in boxing, so you fucking clowns want to all come run to boxing. Because that's where the money is. That's where the lick is. Because he walks in and that's the lick. He's the lick. And you guys have been licking on this dude. But that's okay. We told you all money ain't good money. Saudi Arabia has already said that some minimal fee. They may be paying some minimal fee to put their banner on there and to give you guys some myth that it's their money. When the truth of the matter is, it's my guy's money that you're spending. It's my guy that you're competing with. My guy that you think you can get rid of. My guy. Because if my guy goes away, if you can harm my guy, then his family gets to take over. We ain't stupid. We ain't stupid. You guys are just trying to show you have power over him by stopping him in any engagement that you can stop him in. So you arrogant little piss ants, because that's what you are. Arrogant piss ants. Arrogant piss ants. You niggas are little ass niggas that were given the ability to do things, to pay for your family, to take care of your family and not have to worry about yourselves. They gave you a job, pissant. Pissants is what I'm calling them. This guy gives you the ability to have a job, to take care of your family, to go on vacations, to be an upstanding member of society, to help out your community. Because he's only one man. He can't do it all himself. So he trusts you and he empowers you. And you use it to turn around and try to compete with him. That's what you are. You're a bunch of jealous bitches. Because you're a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. I'll never be a trillionaire. Dude, my guy doesn't even want to be a trillionaire, bro. My guy doesn't want to do that. My guy is trying to sit his money in a fucking bank account because he doesn't want to inflate things. Do you know how much my boy can pay for a donut? My boy got enough money. My boy got enough money, wealth, let me say wealth, to pay $1 billion for a donut. Yes, he can, because he can affect the whole price of the motherfucker. Nobody else can buy it. Come on, man. My guy breaks capitalism. That's how wealthy he is. And the reason why he sits back is because he's too wealthy for capitalism. Because he can escalate prices, drop prices, do what he wants to do. Without your authority, without your help. And he doesn't even want to do that. I know him. He would just say, why don't I pay for everything? He'd be like, man, why don't I pay for everything? Just look, dude. Just make the shit. That's how he feels. He feels like, man, just make the shit. Just make the shit and give it to him. Like, seriously, if he can pull gold out of the ground and turn it into as much money as he wants, that's called alchemy, just so you know. That's called alchemy. He literally can grab a rock from the ground, shine it up, and sell it for $1 billion and feed millions of people. That's the power that he has because he owns the land. It's not no mystical Jesus Christ stuff. I literally mean it. He can literally take a rock out of his land, take everything, all the stuff off the market, sell it, shine it up, and get enough money to feed the factories, to feed the chickens, to buy the chickens, to have the land, and everybody eats. The only problem is you have to have managers that try to execute that. And every time you have managers, you always have some stupid system that they put in place where they keep all the resources and they try to kill the guy. You know what I'm saying? He owns the land. He doesn't even need money. That's what my dad taught me. My dad taught me that. Yes, the overseers always want to earn more money. They always want to grow. Oh, I don't look at how big his house is. I need a bigger house. Oh, he makes 5 million. I need 10. And they try to just jack it up, jack it up, jack it up, jack it up. All they're really doing is trying to be the boss and look like they're the most important while he's not around. While he's not around. And you better believe when he's around, everybody's humbled. Everybody's humbled. They know who he is. They know who he is. And they've known who he was. Watch this shit. They've known who he was since he was a little kid. And they've been pulling this shit on this guy since he was a little kid. His whole life surrounded by a bunch of people that didn't want nothing but access to his money. And they made decisions for him as a youth. And the same people that were allowed to make decisions for him as representatives as their youth wanted to keep that on through the rest of his life. And they've been hangers on ever since. Despite the decisions that he made that created this wealth. But they just want to, they got to try to gamble with him. They got, and trust me, these guys got so much money that they're bored. You got billionaires. He made these guys billionaires, and they can just sit there because they're bored. He gave you deals that made you a billionaire. So now that you got a billionaire, you want to bug the man and try to convince him, convince people that you always try to convince people how close you are to that guy. And your egos are so twisted up that if he says something to you that you don't like, you want to act like you can go to war because you got to save face. But the fact of the matter is you would never go to war with him. Because he owns you, literally. Literally, he owns you. If you're eating, and I'm telling you, bro, he's a savage. I'm telling you, this man is a savage. Because what he said was, and I'm telling you, he understood it. He said, because I told him, he's right. If I own the trees, the water, and that land, that means I own the oxygen that it produces. If I own that oxygen, it is my right to remove that oxygen from you if you didn't pay for it. That's what he thinks about capitalists. He said, if you're a capitalist, I'm going to treat you like one. Don't worry. If you don't believe in everybody should be able to get everything that they want and, you know, they should all be able to have great things. And if you believe in capitalism like that, my guy said, no worries, I'll give you capitalism. I own all the air and you're breathing. Watch me. I own all the air because I own the trees that produce the oxygen, the land that produces the oxygen. I own the water you drink, the animals that you eat, I actually own the land you walk on. Every bit of it. So I have the right to take you off of that land and to repossess all my materials that you have been consuming. That is the basis behind the right of a king to execute you. Because you are not doing what get it? All kind of different ways that you can manage things. Capitalism says that everybody is going to suffer for the aristocrats. That just means the middle managers are going to charge a fee for anything you do. You have to pay for everything that you do. Every transaction on the land that they don't own, with materials that they don't own, that they lease from the owner, they get to take, reform, and sell it you at a profit and never give it back to the owner. And they sit there as middle managers for a very long time, but then eventually people get sick of them and they grab them and they throw their ass out in the middle of an ocean and say, you want capitalism so bad? I own the water. I have to give you a place on this earth. I owe that to God. I'm going to put your asses in the middle of that damn ocean. And if you can split it, like all that shit you talk, if you can split it, you can walk your ass back to the land. But when I drop your ass in the middle of that damn ocean, you're going to bubble to the bottom. Or something's going to eat you before you get there. But don't worry, I own the sharks too. And all I'm doing is feeding them. See, that's why kings used to have that mentality until they agreed with Parliament to start reining back their authority. Right? That's what they did. The kings voluntarily agreed to rein their authority back for the sake of the systems of government that people said would create better unity. But seeing as we see that those systems do not work, then maybe we should go back to the original system, which is if you people who are entrusted with these things do not do your duty, then we are going to repossess your air, your water, your food. You're not going to be able to stand on the land because you owe it to the land to treat people fairly, and you didn't do it, which is why the whole ecosystem is out of whack all over the world because of capitalism being out of whack all over the world. Because we trusted middle managers with an experiment called democracy, which is really just an excuse to capitalize on any decision that the landowners make and capitalize on it being passed to the people who they are tasked with providing for. I'm a political science major, bro, trust me, and definitely descended from the Greeks. I understand what government is and why, if democracy doesn't work, we are not duty bound to keep it. If it doesn't work that 90 million people get a decision about whatever happens, then guess what? We change the system because it's not working. Not because we have to stick by whatever type of lease that you show me, because somebody wrote down on a lease 200 years ago that this is how it works. We can never change it. No way, because you guys are stealing with this. You are not allowing people to get what they need. You are not servicing the people. So therefore, your democracy should disappear. And in fact, you are using democracy to actively hamper other estates from finding success themselves, because you decide you don't want anybody to have freedom to roam. So anybody does anything, you interfere with them. As an estate, you're not taking care of the United States. You're taking care of Saudi Arabia so that you can keep Israel's interest in hand. That's not your job. Your job is to take care of American people. We'll worry about what other countries do. You worry about what you do. Always got your eyes on other people's business and not your own damn job. What up, Mr. Blackwell, a.k.a. God tier of boxing talk? Thank you, bro. I pray all is well. T.O. said Shakur's weaknesses is mine. Nice analogy. Yeah, I'll get you. Oh, yeah, for sure. Wrench for sure. Which one do you want? Yeah, Kilo, the next time I see you on it, I got you for sure. Yeah, seriously. You guys are going to get out the money. Now watch this. Let me tell you how serious this is. What I just said to you was very, very serious, bro. Now, which one? Are you seeing it vertical? Oh, I see you. I see which one you are. I see what you are. Okay, cool. I got you. I think it's the first one, I hope. All right, I got you. All right, it's you. Okay. A kilo net, are you over here? Okay, cool. Gotcha, bud. Thank you, bro. For sure. Thank you, man. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this again. I'm really not going to talk about this a lot again. I'm really not. Like I said, I don't like to get into politics a lot. I tried to retire from this stuff. But you guys are honestly in a lot of trouble, bro. I got you, Kilio Kane. No, seriously, you guys are fucked, bro. Like when I thought you were fucked, I didn't know exactly how fucked you really are. You guys have literally probably fucked up the balance of power in the world. I'm serious, bro. Hey, I'm all in with you for now. I can dig it. Thank you, Zulu. Nah, seriously, I think you fucked it. I really think you fucked it up. I think you should be glad that this guy's a patriotic American. If this guy was not a patriot, and the funny thing is, the guy that's doing it he's a patriotic American. Patriotic American. Pays his taxes, despite the ridiculous amount of money that you guys charge him. But now he finds out that his taxes are not enough. Oh, you don't just want my taxes. You literally want all my money and my land to do what you want. Oh, dog, it's crazy, bro. You lucky that man is such a patriotic American, bro, that he knows the Pledge of Allegiance and that he loves America. He never even leaves the United States. That's a crazy thing. Never even leaves the States, bro. Always here, bro. Could walk by you in the street, but yeah, you know who he is. Anyway, I'm all with you for 9. I can dig it. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. Look, bro. So anyway, Turki Alashiek, a blue blood. Now you're a little bit more obvious, BB. Blue blood stands for BB, huh? BB? As in Bibi Netanyahu? No, let's end this with the cat out the bag. Because I'm not going to do another conversation like this because I know I make you guys very, very nervous. Okay? Between you, Bibi Netanyahu, Ari Emanuel, and Mohammed bin Salman, you owe my guys a lot of money. Let me be real thuggish for a second. Bibi Netanyahu, blue blood. BB, blue, color of Israel. Only nigga that fucking crazy to be talking to me like that. Okay? So let's just say it's you, BB. Mohammed bin Salman, Ari Emanuel, John Rogers. Y'all owe my guy a lot of money and we're coming to collect. Hakeem Jeffries. You owe me a lot of money, bro. You owe me a lot of money, bro, and I'm coming to collect. Mohammed bin Salman, you owe me a lot of money. Because my guy says I can talk to him like that. I get to represent him. So I'm going to speak in his voice. You owe my guy a lot of money, bro. He wants his money back, bro. And not only does he want his money back, he wants it with an amazing amount of interest. And you don't have any money to pay him. Because all of your money is nothing but a lien written against his gold. You can't even pay him in money. You fucking idiots. Because your money is backed by minerals that come from his land. So how are you going to pay the interest? When you have to pay him with money that is backed by gold that is leased from him. Because you guys can't afford the gold, so you leased the gold. And you're supposed to be paying back interest on it, and you didn't make any payments because you have an economic embargo that you claim means that you don't have to pay the money back. You guys are in a lot of trouble, bro. A lot. And I mean it. And I'm going to tell you practically again in a very short meaning why I told you not to play with this guy's money. This guy owns the land, which means he is the owner of the minerals to which you were assigned rights. If you don't pay him for the rights to those minerals, you can be recollected on, which means your cell phones, which are in cobalt, can get taken out of your fucking hands and smashed, including your satellites, your cars, your fucking anything you got with metal in it, stupid. He can be like, what's the guy's name? What's that superpower's name? Magneto, where he takes back all his metal? What are you going to do if he repossesses your metal that you did not pay for? And you try to pay it on fake money that isn't even backed by the money that you back with the gold that's leased from him. The answer is, you idiots, you can't pay the money back. Which means the only thing he can do is repossess you. Oh, you want to hear about the guy with the horns? Let me tell you about the guy with the horns. The guy with the horn says, you owe me money. You can't pay me money, but you are still using my things. So I am going to repossess all of your metal, your gold, your oxygen, your blood, which is made with water and oxygen, your bone, which is made with water and ground, your bones, which is made by the food that you ate that you didn't pay for. The devil is in the details. The devil will repossess you, your whole body. And there's nothing he will say to stop him, because that's the only value you have. And let me tell you something, because you don't know. It's the thing that has the greatest worth. He is going to take from you the thing that is most valuable to you, which is your whole fucking body. Because you want to play games and contract with him. I'm the only guy that can out-debate him. I'm the only guy that beat him in a contract. Because you know what I did with him? I said, I'll do it for free. I said, there's nothing I could do to get any payment from you. I'll do it for free. How about that? Yeah, when he offered me my deal, I just said, tell me what to do. I'll do it for free. How you like them apples? Pardon the pun. How you like those apples? When the devil wanted to deal with me, I said, I'd just do it for free. No contract needed. What do you want me to do? If I can help you and be of service, I'll be more than glad to be of service. I don't want to be contractually obligated to you, sir, but I respect you. And I gave him my mind. I gave him my thoughts. I gave him what he needed. And guess what? He's still my guy to this day, because I never mistreated him. So he has no reason to mistreat me. You guys always mistreat him. Whenever you get close enough to him, you always manipulate him. You always try to trick him. And you do trick him until somebody else comes around and tells him he's been tricked, at which point in time he's going to recollect you. As is above, so is below. Listen, so is above, so is below. All of your spiritual premises also exist on the physical plane. You guys created my guy. You created him. You created him by not allowing him to ever spend his own money. You created this guy and gave him the attitude that he has. You did, because of the way you treated him like he was nothing but a puppet to be, so that you stick your hand up his back and tell him what to do. And when you found out he wasn't a puppet, then you tried to punish him. You reward all kind of other people because they're more malleable, because they're more easily to get along with than he is. But he gives you your blessings and you take it to them. I'm telling you, man, so is above, so is below. What's up, Eric Adams? So as above, so is below. That's what you did to this man. And you're still doing this to this man. You still have a bunch of funds and stupid shit set up that you took from this man. Because you think he's just too rich and he don't care. Anyway, man, did it for free, now living like a king. Exactly. Hey, bro, I did it for free. I did not ask what was in it for me. I just did it for free. Because I wasn't going to get anything anyway. Every time I ever do anything like that, that's why I relate to it. Anytime I do something, every time I get the big thing done, everybody want to jump on top of it and take it. Yep. So basically, that's what happened to him. He had to hold his money because nobody would ever let him touch his money. Because his father's friends want to spend the money up because they always need something. Sisters need something. Sisters have kids that need something. Sisters got kids that got cousins that got third cousins that need something. So pretty much this guy's like a meal ticket for fucking everybody. And they just start making decisions and taking his money and giving it to all kind of people without ever asking him. And just being like, he's such a nice kid, he won't mind. He's such a nice kid, he won't mind. He's got so much money, a little bit won't hurt. A little bit won't hurt. It's okay. This money is really for him. Yeah, but he already got so much money and the money's just sitting there, mama. The money's just sitting there, mama. Come on. Come on. Can you spend some of his money? The money's just sitting there. He's got so much money. It's not even getting spent. Come on. It's just growing. And I can't. Okay. But then you promise you're going to get a job? You promise you're not going to do this again? I promise, mom, I won't come back and ask again. Come back every fucking Friday, nigga. Same old shit. Let me get a little. Hey, you think you can give me some of his money? He ain't got his money yet, right? Yeah, but but you have access to his money, right? This is how they used to do him, right? They would not give him. No, I'm talking about Turkey. Man, get out of here, bro. Ban. No, I'm not talking about Turkey Alashiek. Turkey Alashiek's a peon, bro. I'm telling you, man. That's how they did the nigga, and that's how it wound up. That these guys have access to his money. And so for years, he's been basically, they got to find and close up all this stupid fucking money that these guys still have access to in these accounts. And these guys, instead of giving the money back, want to try to spend all the money in the accounts. That's all it is. It's like they have the money in the accounts and the money has to go somewhere. So they figure we're just going to spend it because he says, give me the money back. But they're like, no. Let's just try to invest it. Let's not give him the money back. Let's invest the money in other things. So instead of giving him his money back, like he said, give me my money back, you guys interpret give him his money back as invest his money in more things. No, he didn't ever ask you guys to make him any money. And this is something else because I know you guys know who I'm talking about. You guys who also work for this guy, you have to understand, he never, ever gave you guys instructions to go make him money. He never did. He never told any of you lying ass sacks of shit that said that he gave permission for his money to be invested. You're all lying because he never gave anybody permission to make a profit. He never did. He never said, go make me money. So the fact that you took the money and instead of giving it back to him, you went and invested it for him, just means you stole the money by passing it into somebody else's hands. Because he never said to go make a profit, other than in a couple instances where he specifically gave people money to start businesses. But when he gave the money to start the businesses, he intended for you to start the business that you said you would start. He didn't intend for you to go into boxing with money he gave you for IT. Just because you failed in IT doesn't mean, oh, all the money's in boxing, let's go to boxing. He didn't give you that money to invest in anything that you wanted. He gave you money to invest in your family and something specific to do. And now you guys are going to be, I told you, I knew what you guys were doing. I don't even want to name names, but I named your names. You know who I'm talking about. And you niggas are not my friends. And you're not my family. And I mean that shit to the bottom of my heart. Don't you niggas ever talk to me like you're a family member of mine. Never. You can call me Martin. You can say, hey, we can whatever. Don't you niggas ever in your life act like you're my family member. Because you know I'm an agent that has the right to bind this man and bind this. You know I have the right to bind this man into deals. And you have decided to use your proximity to me as a way to do it. So you can say, because Martin's in boxing, oh, this money can be used for boxing, which is not true. The only reason I came into boxing is so I could earn money off YouTube in super chats, cash apps. That's why I'm on YouTube. I did not come into YouTube to be the guy that allows you to invest a lot of money in it. No, I did not come on YouTube for that. And you guys are using your proximity to me as a way to use my agency to bind this to the money that you're taking. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Because I saw it before. I saw what you guys did in the deal between Chicago, Memphis, and New Orleans, and DC. You did the same thing. I struck a huge deal. You guys want to move me off of it. Then I come to boxing as a hobby. And you guys try to fucking take all the money and invest it in boxing like I asked you to do it. When all you're trying to do is manipulate people based off the fact that I can spend this guy's money. I have the right to say, do this job, do that job. I have the right to do that. You don't have the right to do that because you're my cousin. You don't have the right to do that because you came on a YouTube channel with me. You don't have the right to do that just because I reviewed your wealth management contract. I reviewed a wealth management contract. That's all I did. And you guys use that shit as a way to claim that you guys have the right to bind people. That's what you did. Everything is together, bro. I was there every step of the way. I'm the guy you're trying to trick. I'm the guy you're trying to fool. Trying to push me out of boxing with all this horse shit while you invest all this money in and tank the fucking market and then try to make boxers your fucking slaves. All because you guys lost all your money. Because you don't have access to your money anymore. Because all of your clout is gone. But why is your clout gone? Your clout is gone because you fuck around and you will find out. You should have never played with the guy, man. You should have never done it. You guys should just be happy that you can make millions. But I know how it is. That's how they always get you. You're out here making $5 million, $6 million. All of a sudden, $6 million doesn't sound like that much money when somebody else is making 10. So 6 isn't enough anymore. Now you need 10. Last year's stretch, Bentley is not enough. So you need to buy another one. The job that made you famous isn't enough. So you need to get another one. You guys get taken advantage of because you never are happy with what you already have. Jesus Christ, aren't you guys rich enough? Haven't we made you enough money Don't you already have a big house? Don't people already know who you are? But no, if Michael Jordan made 10 million, LeBron's got to make 100. You change rules in sports just so you can make accolades, so you can claim that you should be paid more money. Meanwhile, the NBA is not turning a profit. NFL is not turning a profit. Why? Because you're wasting so much money to keep up the facade that you guys, everything gets bigger and greater. No, it doesn't. Sometimes you go into a dark age. And you know what happens? You know when the dark age comes? Like shit like this. This is when a dark age comes. Because somebody that owns the shit turns the light off. Because you guys are in debt. And it becomes a dark age. The United States can enter into a dark age. Absolutely. It can. I think it's in a dark age right now. Quite honestly. The United States is not in an era of enlightenment. We're in an age of darkness. Where you guys got lights in everybody's face to hide the truth of what's really going on. Your basketball games are not turning profits. It's a shell game. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's all it is. Where you take from the rich and you spend it and give the poor a show instead of giving them money. Right? That's what you do. The very, very, very rich give the money to the middle managers. The middle managers decide to throw parties for themselves and grandiose lavish lives to motivate the poor, hungry people to do what they're supposed to do. Will be the motivation because they'll keep working because eventually they'll want to be rich like us. But the only problem is you're not rich. You're as broke as they are. You're as every bit as broke as they are. You just are a middleman in between the food and them. You're nothing but a blockade. I want to give them it. You want money, so you stand between me and them and suck up all the value before it ever gets to them. It's the same thing that they did with Kings. The same thing that you're doing to him. The same thing that you're doing to my guy. The same thing that you're doing to my guy is the same thing that they did to Pharaohs. You trying to put him in a castle, block him away. You guys make big castles and everything for yourselves, all for the glory of him. Meanwhile, everybody else works themselves to death and they're miserable. And you are miserable too. Because you always don't know why you're not happy. Somebody said, who is this guy? You must be crazy. Nigga act like, who is this guy? That's crazy, bro. Who is this guy? Like I said, I'm a once-in-a-lifetime genius is what I am. I am. I'm a once-in-a-lifetime, you'll never find anybody like me genius. That's what I am. I understand the structure of the world. I understand where the microcosm. I understand the macrocosm. I understand how boxing is nothing but a microcosm of the world. So they attempted to treat it as if it's the center point in the world and try to funnel a ton of money through it. That's all they're doing. It's a bunch of crooks trying to make themselves seem very, very fancy by getting their hands on as many shiny things as they can get their hands on. Let's take Bill Haney, for example. Bill Haney is nothing but another fucking, what is he? He's, let me show you stacks of money. All that shit is make-believe, bro. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Ruben Lager said, broke as we are and too fucking dumb to see it. Yeah, but they'll make everybody see it, bro. They're not, bro. They are the overseers of your money. That's all they are. Slavers. The slavers are the middle class, bro. The slavers try to enslave royalty and they slave the that's what they are, bro. You know? But man, let me see if I got a cash app today. I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream, bro. I know it wasn't all that much boxing, bro. But I had fun doing it. What a ripoff, though, bro. I can't believe you Negroes are doing that shit, bro. On the real. Anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Much love in the chat. Everybody in the super chat. I hope y'all had a wonderful day. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.